Hi guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to quickly fill in your eyebrows the way that I do every single day. I like a pretty strong brow, and I do the same thing every day. I used to use the Milani Brow Marker, but now I've been using the NYX a mixed gel eyeliner to do it, and I really love the effect. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to show you some options, that way you can go from drugstore to high-end depending on what you already have and what your preference is. Here we go. What I use, first of all, I like to have a brush, either a spoolie or one of like the lash and comb type brushes. The spoolie is my favorite though. And then I have this Real Techniques brow brush. I really recommend this one. I've had a lot of different kinds of brow brushes, and this one's the best I've ever had because it's soft enough that it doesn't, that it's not like rough, but it's angled enough that it really gets in there. And then I use the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. Any eye primer will do. That's just the one that I've been using lately. And I got this with my Pro Palette. And then I use my NYX Gel Liner and Smudger in the color Brown. Just looks like that right there. And then I use a brown eyeshadow. Lately I've been using the Lorac Pro Palette's color Taupe. It's that one right there. And then I used to always use the Naked palette, the Naked one, either Buck, well I always use Buck, and then I would kind of add Naked, but I don't use that much anymore. And then once in a while I'll use the NYX Nude Matte Shadow, that one right there, in Maybe Later, and it's a tiny bit darker than Naked. So different options according to, you know, your preferences. Let's go ahead and get started. I always brush my brows. Let's go ahead and get in there a little bit more. Okay, I always brush my brow in the shape that I want it first. And then that's when I put the eye primer on. I use the primer just because I feel like it creates a good base for whatever product I'm going to be putting on. If I don't, it tends to, as the day goes on, since I do have really oily skin, it'll gather in places and it's really gross. And then I brush it through again just to make sure that it's covering all of the hairs. Then I use the Real Techniques brush and I dip it in the gel liner. I don't use too much because a little goes a really long way. I'm actually going to use my mirror to do this because otherwise, if I just depend on my camera, I'm going to get messed up. Now I start towards the middle. I don't want to start right in the front because when I do, it ends up like really dark right there, and it's hard to like fix all of that once all of your makeup is done. So starting in the middle a little, go out to the sides, and then once I don't have too much product on my brush is when I move to the insides. And as you can see, I didn't add a whole lot. I was just, you know, starting small so I could build up. So I go back into the liner and do the same kind of thing, starting in the middle, go out to the side, and then to the front again. I have a little bit of a gap right here, as you can tell, and that's usually my struggle, is to even that out without it getting too big in the front. Okay. Next, I'm going to go back to that spoolie just to make sure that it's spread evenly and that I'm not getting it all clumpy. And then once I'm satisfied with the shape, and I do, you know, I do like, I mean, I think it kind of looks, it reminds me of like Brooke Shields, so it is natural in a way, but it's more, I want to say bushy, but that sounds so negative, but it's, I don't know, I guess kind of bushy. Then I go in with the taupe eyeshadow color right there with the same exact brush. So it's going to be a little bit of a mix between the shadow and the liner, but that's fine, it totally works. And this time I'm starting a little bit closer to the front, not the very front again, because you don't want that concentration. It's easy for it to get clumpy in the front. And I go right on over. I'm going to dip a tiny bit more in the taupe. And I do this because I find it sets the liner, and I do the same thing when I use the brow marker. I set it with an eyeshadow. But also, liners and products like that, they tend to end up looking shiny. I already have oily skin. I don't want to add any kind of shine. It's a little bit thicker in the middle than it is in the front, so I'm going to try to correct that. Okay. That's a little better. I need to pluck right there, so sorry about that, but I've always loved the quote that your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. So my eyebrows are definitely sisters, but not twins, but you can tell that this one is a little bit bigger. No worries. Okay, then my last step, well, almost last step, is to brush through them with a spoolie again. Take off that excess product. And then, just in case, I always have Q-tips, and I'll go around the outside to make sure that they end up clean. Now, if you really want to have a defined look, I recommend taking a concealer, or if you have, I'll zoom out a little bit. If you have one of the MAC Chromographic pencils like I do, it's NW25 NC30, and it's just a flesh colored, it's like a concealer colored eye pencil. Looks like that. You can use that right beneath and above your eyebrow to really like carve it out. It makes it look so nice and sharp, and I love that. Like from far away that looks totally natural, but if you look close up, it looks crazy town. I like to just use my finger to blend that in a little. And ta-da! Well, not ta-da, because you can still see that line right there. Now you have two evenly distributed eyebrows. Yay! I just love brows. I think they really frame my face, and I like them to look nice and bushy in the best way possible. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that helped. It usually is a really quick process, and it's what keeps me looking perfect every single day. JK. Have a good day. Bye.